Meyers gets rare victories. New Mexico criminal charges dismissed without prejudice. Court of Appeals in Arizona grants another extension to challenge civil protective order. Is his luck changing? Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova wows fans with a long story of how he left a car on the streets of Denver with expired tags and plates and was surprised it was confiscated by police. Did he learn anything? Jeremiah Payne rants about Clarksville Child Protective Services again and says it's Frauditor Troll's fault that he lied about having his next hearing in general court instead of family court. Will his gotcha moment spoil the troll forever? Plus, Jose Chile Diccastro shows off how small his hands are as he showcases a pile of playing cards for his pending board game. I'm your humble newsreader, Pants. You're 12 of the reasons why I needed to change my outfit at 4 a.m. this morning. Will you give me 10 more reasons as we mingle our tingles in search of auditing insanity? Hanging on every word out of dance sensation and YouTuber Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova's mouth on Friday, fans of the Denver-based YouTuber enjoyed his tales of troubles with a simple car registration that resulted in the abandonment of the vehicle in the Denver metro area. They tuned into his latest live stream. Before a mild rant about the absolute horrors of having to pay car registration and licensing fees just to drive on roads we paid for, Cordova stated his tale of terror that started innocently enough, which his inheritance of a 2008 Cadillac from his grandparents after his grandmother died last year. The car had previously belonged to his grandfather and was filled with non-standard electronic gadgets and features that weren't seen on a normal car. Cordova seemed impressed with the car, which he needed to drive from New Mexico to Colorado with the help of former girlfriend Sweet Tea. Once in Denver, Cordova said that he did not bother to register the vehicle, as he was moving soon and would have to update the registration once he moved. He said that he received a single warning that the tags and license plate had expired before the car was eventually seized by police. Cordova's inquiries to the police proved that they had seized it, and before he was able to come up with the fees that he would need to update the registration, tags, license, and add the car to his insurance, he had missed the deadline to hold the car, and it was sold to an auction house. The YouTuber said he was willing to accept the loss despite the vehicle being his audit car, because it was having significant problems with its battery due to the cold weather and was proving to be a money pit, like all Cadillacs of that era. Recently, the car returned to Cordova's life as it had been dropped off at a dealership without a note describing what work needed to be done on it. The dealership found a receipt in the glove compartment with Cordova's name on it and assumed he was the real owner. Cordova said he became wary when the dealership offered him the ability to take the car, as they had no listing of a new owner and the title accompanying the car still had his name on it. Fighting his urge to go get the car without checking out the circumstances surrounding its appearance at the dealership, Cordova contacted his mother, who told him to be wary of the deal. His mother warned that the car could have been a trap by Denver police targeting Cordova. She warned that police may have placed illicit items in the car and may be monitoring the car to arrest him once he assumed ownership and removed the car from the dealership. Her own investigation apparently turned up evidence that it was indeed registered to a new owner, and Cordova had no legal claim to the car. He thanked his mother for intervening, as she saved him from possible arrest. Cordova went on to describe his mother as his current best friend. He said that he was a bad friend and that most of his friends had moved on because of it. The YouTuber seemed to perk up after mentioning that he would be going out to celebrate his mother's new job with a special meal followed by homemade root beer floats. Updating his ongoing legal efforts, Cordova said that he may have been responsible for YouTuber Frauditor Mania removing over 62 videos from his YouTube channel. Cordova described those videos as all of Mania's videos featuring the work of YouTuber JC News Now. Cordova had previously announced that his LLC would soon be acquiring the back catalog of JC News Now's YouTube channel and would be actively enforcing the copyright of videos featured in the purchased back catalog. The Denver-based YouTuber is scheduled to live stream again on Sunday, where he will be joined by that Randall S. the Unhinged Attorney Newman, Esquire, to discuss fair use and to provide updates on his pending litigation. Enraged YouTuber Jeremiah Payne shocked fans with accusations against YouTuber Frauditor Troll on Saturday, as he announced in both a produced video and a live stream that he had previously lied about the nature of his pending court case to deal with issues with Clarksville, Tennessee Child Protective Services. Payne accused Frauditor Troll and others of being sloppy for reporting that his Tuesday hearing with CPS was being held in regular or criminal court, as Payne reported himself, rather than in family court. He chastised Troll and others for being stupid and not doing their due diligence and verifying the information that Payne himself had reported. Our own reporting indicated that Payne had a court date, skipping his trap completely. The YouTuber's statement also allows us to remind viewers that the recaps we provided of Jeremiah Payne's live stream often contain distorted information, and all statements of facts by Payne that he now admits have no basis in reality. Take any reported facts by the YouTuber with a grain of salt. Payne's new facts included his claims that he contacted Homeland Security to see if a CPS agent filed a report on him, after he continued to contact her after she told him to stop. The YouTuber said that Homeland Security had no new reports on him, and he was good with Homeland Security and not in trouble. He did mention that Homeland Security did previously issue a bulletin about the YouTuber's First Amendment auditing activities, but that was apparently general information promoting his ideals and values and not any sort of trouble the YouTuber may be facing. Payne also addressed what he said were so-called threats against CPS workers, which resulted in the scheduling of the next meeting with CPS at the Montgomery County Courthouse on Tuesday. The YouTuber claimed that he had never threatened nobody, and that having friends in low places simply meant he had friends in low places who would rally around him in force if needed to defend his ideals from attack. He assured that no one needed to be worried about these friends in low places, as they only appeared to defend him when needed. Payne's apparent legion of friends in those low places were of no help in financing an attorney to represent Payne at Tuesday's hearing. He again begged his fans for their help in raising $500 for a down payment on services from a local attorney and to secure his appearance at that hearing. The YouTuber had previously indicated that while he had no set attorney, he was using the Attorney Shield product promoted by Dale Lackluster Hiller and Sean Paul Long Island Audit Reyes for on-the-spot legal advice. Payne also took time to address his employment status, as he previously claimed to be unemployed. He now said that he was employed part-time and that the Clarksville area had no full-time employment available to someone with his skill set. The YouTuber complained that all job applications must be done online in modern Clarksville, and he often encounters thousands of applicants waiting for interviews for jobs that previously would be filled by a brief in-person interview after seeing a sign in the window of a shop or business. Payne made no mention of his previous claim to have a new job waiting in Nashville, which would give him a reason to move out of the jurisdiction of Clarksville Child Protective Services. The YouTuber abruptly ended his live stream from a playground with his daughter, as he had to catch an Uber to go home. His promised follow-up live stream once he arrived at his apartment did not materialize Saturday night. Game designer, future government of an unnamed state, possible future bail bondsman for all auditors in America, and holder of the smallest hands in his YouTube videos, Jose Chile Diccastro returned to YouTube with 2 live streams on Saturday, showcasing what is important in his life. The first live stream was meant to focus on a sound check for his eventual teaching videos of his Constitutional Headquarters board game. Hindered by next to no new pre-sales since he upped the price of the game to a bit over $88, DeCastro was scheduled to show off his Teacher's Edition of the game, which features a slightly higher price and is meant to be used in the classroom. DeCastro began the brief live stream by displaying holders for the game's playing cards in a single line of cardboard container that stretched from one end of a standard office folding table to the other. The YouTuber explained that there were roughly 62 of these slots meant to be hung on the wall, and players would compete to match the right card to the right slot to earn points while playing the game. Viewers were immediately puzzled by the sheer size of both the card holders and the cards themselves, which dwarfed DeCastro's own hands. The cards appeared to be 5 to 6 inches long by 4 inches wide, and brought questions from his audience as how much space would be needed to play the game in a normal household due to their extreme size and the need for 62 slots to be laid out just to play the game. DeCastro ignored these questions, as he was having audio problems for most of the live stream. The decks of cards he started to lay out were apparently the same decks he received from a test run of cards for the game earlier in the year. With most of the packs of cards unopened, it looks like DeCastro has yet to find time to conduct quality checks of the cards. This oversight was noted as user John Doe number 1 on our own Really Cool Newswire Discord server pointed out that the text for DeCastro's 27th Amendment card was factually incorrect and would need to be corrected before the game was distributed to classrooms across America. DeCastro did not provide updates to his attempts to find financing for the game. He previously stated that he needed at least $100,000 to fund a single print run of 10,000 units of the game, and that he may seek to run a Kickstarter campaign to find funding. Fans also playfully mocked the size of DeCastro's hands, which seemed tiny for a man of his long disputed 5'8" stature in comparison to the cards themselves. DeCastro did not respond to the playful teasing he received from his audience before announcing that he would return to streaming about the game later on Saturday on his main channel. The diminutive YouTuber kept his promise to stream again on Sunday, but failed to highlight the game. Instead, DeCastro's focus was on yet another series of anti-police videos. These video highlights will later be snipped to be featured as both shorts and long-form content on his main channel. DeCastro's Constitution Headquarters board game has experienced multiple delays since its initial scheduled release date of Thanksgiving of 2024. The product presale page devoted to the game still features a September 2025 release date. No new presales have been recorded by the sales counter on the same page since a single copy of the game was sold last month. Bicycle enthusiast and part-time YouTuber Lane Meyers received some good news on Friday, as all 6 of the charges he was facing from a 2023 incident at a campground in New Mexico were dismissed without prejudice. The next hearing in the case was scheduled for Monday, as of Friday afternoon, when a late announcement by Judge Catherine E. Taylor removed the hearing and dismissed the charges against Meyers. Originally filed in 2023, the case had a long history of delays, as at one point Meyers failed to appear for a bench warrant, the original judge recused themselves, Meyers' counsel quit the case, and Meyers himself was held in the Pima County, Arizona Adult Correctional Facility, where he would eventually take a plea deal on harassment and stalking charges. The dismissal leaves just a single known lawsuit on the horizon for the recently freed Meyers. His efforts to fight the original civil no-contact order against his victim in the Arizona case were bolstered on Wednesday, as the Arizona Court of Appeals Division 2 gave him yet another extension to file his opening brief in the appeal. Previously, the appeals court had accepted Meyers' request to extend the deadline for his opening brief until July 17th, and indicated that it would be his last extension. When that date passed without filing, the court then granted another extension on its own, now giving Meyers until August 6th to file the opening brief or have his appeal dismissed. Meyers is attempting to challenge the protective order that spawned his recent problems in Arizona, as he's accused his victims in his cases of judgment shopping. He did not seem committed to the appeal, as he's received several extensions to file his initial briefing to the court since filing in January of this year. The YouTuber famously had his quote-unquote wife narrate a how-to-cite rulings video on his channel, which featured references to this appeal immediately after he was released from jail and told not to produce videos about his victim. It is believed that Meyers is attempting to use his appeal of the protective order to have his recent conviction overturned and have his criminal protective order against the same victim removed. Meyers has yet to make a statement on the new developments in the case and has remained relatively silent on YouTube in the month since his release from the Pima County Adult Correctional Facility. The good news for Meyers did not spark interest in his ongoing Give, Send, Go campaign set up for his legal defense fund, as it has remained at a total of $9,002 out of a goal of $30,000 for most of July. Sean Paul Long Island Audit Reyes took Sunday with a total of $95 in new donations towards his Stand With Me to Hold Brian Fahey Accountable campaign. No other campaigns that we follow saw new donations for Sunday. We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, feeding the cats, defending ourselves from lawsuit threats, and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, you can do so via a donation to our PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe accounts. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.